Doctor. Well, what does Bidashagar think of him? M. That day he showed the master great respect. But when I talked with him later, I found out that he didn't care much for what the Vaishnavas call emotion or ecstasy. He shares your views on such things. Doctor. Neither do I care very much for any such display of emotion as folding one's hands or touching others' feet with one's head. To me, the head is the same as the feet. But if a man thinks differently of the feet, let him do whatever he likes. M. We know that you do not care for a display of feelings. Perhaps you remember that the Master now and then refers to you as a deep soul. He said to you yesterday that when an elephant plunges into a small pool, it makes a big splash. But when it goes into a big lake, you hardly see a ripple. The elephant of emotion cannot produce any effect at all in a deep soul. The Master says that you are a deep soul. Doctor. I don't deserve the compliment. After all, what is bhav? It is only a feeling. There are other aspects of feeling, such as bhakti. When it runs to excess, some can suppress it and some cannot. M. Divine ecstasy may or may not be explainable. But, sir, it cannot be denied that ecstasy or love of God is a unique thing. I have seen in your library Stebbing's book on Darwinism. According to Stebbing, the human mind is wonderful, whether it be the result of evolution or of special creation. He gives a beautiful illustration from the theory of light. Light is wonderful, whether you know the wave theory of light or not. Doctor. Yes. Have you noticed further that Stebbing accepts both Darwin and God? The conversation again turned to Sri Ramakrishna. Doctor. I find that he is a worshipper of the goddess Kali. M. But with him the meaning of Kali is different. What the Vedas call the Supreme Brahman, he calls Kali. What the Musalmans call Allah and the Christians call God, he calls Kali. He does not see many gods. He sees only one God. What the Brahmagyanis of olden times called Brahman, what the yogis called Atman, and the Bhaktos call the Bhagavan, he calls Kali. In Sri Ramakrishna, one finds all the attitudes and ideals of religion. That is why people of all sects and creeds enjoy peace and blessedness in his presence. Who can fathom his feeling and tell us the depth of his inner experience? Doctor, all things to all men. I don't approve of it, although Saint Paul says it. M. Who can understand the state of his mind? We have heard from him that unless one is engaged in the yarn trade, one cannot tell the difference between number 40 and number 41 yarn. Only a painter can appreciate another painter. The mind of a saint is very deep. One cannot understand all the aspects of Christ unless one is Christ-like. Perhaps the deep realization of the Master is what Christ meant when he said, "Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." Doctor, what arrangements have you made about having him nursed? M. At present, one of the older devotees is assigned every day to look after him. It may be Girish Babu or Ram Babu or Balaram or Suresh Babu or Nabagopal or Kali Babu. It is that way.